so glad you talked about that, because on our side was Bill saying, "Hey, we need to get these figured out," and so we would have a task like, "How can we make this work?" And that's one of the things that, like, when I say it was like the biggest independent film I've ever worked on, was because it would be like, "Hey, we need to be able to get these things in there. Keep an eye out," and then you would go and be like, "Hey, I think we can get this here," and so then he would come and ask you, and we'd have it ready, because at one point on Terminator, we flipped a bus. That was the entire work for the day. It was like a 6 hour day to set it up, flipped it, went to lunch, broke. That was it. We flipped a water truck on the domestics and then went to the next 16 scenes or whatever.
It was insane, dude.
And completely insane. The explosion, the squibs, it would be like, a big shot of 50 cal blowing through people and squibs. All right, moving on, going to the next thing. And one of us would be in control of one set, and we come and we get Tyler having somebody get shot, and then we go back and it would be Lance Nichols on shooting down at somebody else and have the camera. And it was nuts, but it was amazing because it was all French hours. And so you'd get there and you knew we're getting here at 6 a.m. We're going to be done by, going home at 5. Let's just go doing the walk-in lunches with the incredible catering, just walking around the whole day eating.
Dude, that catering was incredible, dude.
Incredible.
Like that was something I will say was eye-opening, was mind-blowing, was being on a set like that and the food that was being served. I remember thanking those guys every day because I was like, you guys are killing it. And I know that I know it was rough for them too. Like they were, I can't imagine what they went through. And I know the French hours thing was not their favorite. It's never a thing that you ever really want to push, but again, we were put under a set of parameters that were almost nearly impossible for us. And we did it. And, again, so much of that credit has to be given to you guys and catering and the people just keeping us going so we could get everything we need. And I mean, honestly, with the exception of a handful of moments, I mean, that film was a 2-take, 3 max movie. We were just flying. People had to be on point. And like, if it was an effects shot, if it was squibs, you had to take.
Yeah,
you had to do it once, man. It had to work. Thank God, Guy Clayton, his squibs were just freaking on point all the fucking time. Like that guy he's a master at what he did. And I mean, he would give me grapefruit size, Tarantino fuckers. You know what I mean? Just.
I still remember, and I still use it, the scene where they're coming down, like the back end scene where everyone's getting squibbed up and Sonoya shooting from the roof and everybody doing, as one of the best action scenes as far as squib gore, because it's all practical and it's not CGI or whatever. It's amazing.
Yep.
And I remember one of my favorite things was there's like a little pipe bomb in a bucket full of body parts and blood, and it just went off. And like, that had to be kind of, I mean, whenever you were coming up with it, is that kind of what you were hoping for, or was that just something that you were just like, wait, we can do that? And how did you kind of get into the whole, like, did y'all go through that in creating it, or was that more of like a, hey, I got this, let me show you?
No, there was a lot of conversation about what we can and can't do. I mean, the little pop can, like, pipe bomb thing, that was a scripted thing that that Nina was supposed to be prepping, and then she had a bag full of them with using the shotgun shells. So all that was designed beautifully from production design and props and so forth. But in terms of like making that explosion, like, it was kind of like, okay, so how are we going to do this? I just, talking with Pyro and everything like that, it was just like, well, we have this big cone and we can fill it full of dust and debris to make it blow up. I'm like, could we throw a bunch of like body parts and like fill it full of blood too? Because I wanted a big red mist cloud, as though it really did take a bunch of people out. And it was sort of inspired by that scene in Private Ryan when they're taking the 20 mil shells.
And popping and throwing.
Popping, he goes, pop it, heave it. And like, there was a shot where Tom Hanks or Matt Damon like whips one of those things, and there's a bunch of guys running across frame, and then it just boom, it blows up right next to the stuntman running across screen, and the cloud that blows up is complete. It's just red, but it's not like a gooey red. It's like it's like the explosion cloud was like a mist, like it just completely shredded these guys. And I was like, I want that look. I remember them saying, well, yeah, we can do it. We just have to put a bunch of blood in this with all the debris. And when it blows out, it'll stain the cloud, basically. Oh, and dude, we were like, I remember the guys pulling body parts off the roofs of the houses.
Yep.
In that neighborhood. I mean, I know it's hard to tell that there's a bunch of body parts flying everywhere. That was more of just my macabre, like, mindset. I didn't know if it was going to read or whatever, but that was, yeah.
Man, I got questions because I had to do I had to take a bunch of photos so that we could have everything lined up so that when we come back and do it, the right bodies were laying down or whatever. So all the continuity photos I had on my phone, if I was ever showing people stuff, we come across those and be like, what is this? Because it would just be, people laying about, and it was raining blood. It looked amazing. It was
like the cars. It was like, it looked like there was a blood rainstorm, and all the cars were just like speckled. It's just coated. Those are good days. They were challenging. I remember Bill always saying, like, we're shooting this sequence of action. Normally we would have like 2 weeks to do this, and we had like 4 days or something. It was,
I mean, well, like I said, the Terminator thing, it was 1 day to flip a truck, and that was one of, I think, like 10 scenes that day. It was incredible. Mm-hmm. And I've never worked on anything before or since like that. And I actually got told on quite a few sets, like, you cannot talk about domestics anymore. Because I'd be like, on domestics, we did that. And I'd use that as an example. And they got so annoyed by me because I'd always use it. And they're like, yeah, we know. Y'all were able to do it. I was like, yes. Like, why can't we?